All right, this one's going to be a important but straightforward one. We've got a request from someone. Thank you for posting the comment. You know who you are. About what to do with a kiddo with what sounds like lower functioning autism spectrum disorder. Let's jump in. Hi out there. This is child psychologist Dr. Brett Pearce coming at you with a request video from someone who posted a question about what to do with a kiddo who has got low functioning autism, leastwise. It sounds like it's an 8-year-old kid who's nonverbal and is on the autism spectrum disorder. I believe the person also said the kiddo has a comorbid diagnosis of ADHD, which is no surprise. Many people are on the spectrum, meet criteria for autism. Meet criteria for ADHD, but that's kind of a subject for another video. So the question was pretty broad, which is okay, but first and foremost, with a kiddo who's that developmentally impacted, we definitely want to be putting in a lot of developmental supports. And so those developmental supports probably should be happening at school in the forms of probably a special educational placement, and schools are excellent at setting up a proper curricula and proper supports there. In terms of what to do at home, that gets a little bit more complicated. Probably kiddos should be receiving something very intensive for kiddos on the spectrum, particularly kiddos who are quite developmentally impacted, such as ABA or applied behavior analysis. It's a very intensive form of treatment. It's not exactly mental health therapy, but it's an allied discipline that focuses on really helping kids who are on the spectrum and are developmentally impacted. It helps to work on a lot of basic things that we would normally take for granted, functional communication with others and any other, day-to-day stuff, toileting and things like that might be a problem. So that's really big and really important, just because some kiddos, not all, but some kiddos who are on the spectrum and quite developmentally impacted require a tremendous amount of support. I wouldn't really focus my attention too much on other things like just getting speech therapy or things like that. Speech therapy is really great, but kiddos who are on the spectrum and that developmentally impacted need a lot more than that. So I suppose you could also look into what's called occupational therapy, which is a particular branch. It's a particular discipline that focuses mostly on fine motor coordination as well as sensory things. But bottom line is, if your kiddo is not receiving some sort of intensive intervention via something like ABA or perhaps floor time treatment or something like that that's designed for kiddos who are on the spectrum and lower to mid functioning, then that's what I would do. Now, one caveat in general for those listening. So when you've got a kiddo who's on the spectrum and is higher functioning, particularly if they're struggling with a lot of comorbid problems like anxiety or depression or things like that, traditional mental health therapy is great. And no, you don't need anything that's like autism specific in that regard. You certainly want to see a therapist that has some experience working with kids on the spectrum, but folks on the spectrum, particularly folks who are higher functioning on the spectrum, absolutely need mental health support, just like anyone else, and mental health therapy can definitely be of use there. So there's not a ton to do other than definitely get kiddo hooked up with something like ABA if you can. Couple of ideas, maybe, if there's a persons with disabilities services through the government, you could say hi to that agency and see what services they can hook you up with. You can also get in touch with your kid's pediatrician and see, what resources are available. You could also go see a child mental health professional, like someone like myself, like a psychologist or social worker or counselor, and say, hey, here's what's going on. What services do you know about for my kiddo? So thank you so much for posting the request. Please do feel free to reach out to me again if there's something more specific that you were looking for help with. I can do my best. But behavior management, I guess, if we want to put it in those terms, with kiddos who are quite developmentally impacted. In some cases is very similar, and in some cases it's very different. So bottom line is thank you, and good luck with everything, and hope this was of use to some folks watching this. This is Dr. Brett Pearce, child psychologist, about to sign out. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please consider clicking the subscribe button somewhere down there. You can also give me a thumbs up, and you can also smash a bell notification so that you can be notified when my next video goes live. We will talk to you folks in the next one. Bye-bye.